All right, welcome Rams. Tonight's homework is, I believe, page 99. It's the volume of rectangular prisms. Okay, so a couple things we're going to clarify. Very first thing is that volume means the amount of space, or what it takes to fill something up, right? The amount it takes, so that amount could be in different measurements to fill an object. Okay, and that could be a 3D object. We're looking at capacity, volume could be cups and gallons. It can be cubic inches. It can be measured in a couple of different ways, but it's what it takes to fill an object compared to area, which means covering an object. All right, so big B, we're going to refer to big B in 6th grade as the area of the base, and that is everything from this point forward. Well, big B is always going to mean area of the base. Now that means capital B. So area of the base. So my formula for finding the area of any kind of prism is going to be area equals big B times, volume is big B times H, I'm sorry. Volume is big B times H. So, every time what we're going to do is look at the base of your object. So if I think about my base here, I'm going to start with this one down here, okay? So in elementary, you learned length times width times height, which is fine as long as you're only working with a rectangular prism. 6th grade, we're still only working with rectangular prisms, but now we're looking at it and preparing for what you'll see next year. Okay, so if I'm doing big B times H here, my base is this rectangle here. So my length and width, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then my height would be 1, 2, 3. So in elementary, you learned length times width times height. Okay, and we did that. We would say 7 times 5 times 3. Okay, now the difference here at this age is that this length times width is your base. That gives you the area of your base, right? And so if I take this rectangle that here is on the bottom, and I find the total number of units it takes to cover the whole bottom, which on this one is 35 times 3. Okay, so I can look at it over here and say big B, my base, is a rectangle. So my base is made up of length times width, but I'm still multiplying by the height. So we're doing the exact same thing you did last year, but we're not just calling it length times width times height anymore, because that's not going to be on your formula sheet. It will say big B times H. And so big B, every time we find the area of your base, okay? So volume is basically saying, well, if I were to fill this entire shape up, how many little cubic units would it take to fill it in? Well, that'd be 35 times 3, 105. Now we would say units, and we write it with a 3. That is your exponent. So when we're doing area, it's square units. Volume is cubic units. So we write it with an exponent of 3. Okay? All right, so this one right here, my dimensions are 3 by 3 by 3. So that is a cube. And so really we just looked at this piece came out, it's still filled in the middle. Okay? So 3 times 3 would be 9, times 3 is 27. Okay? Big B times H. My base here is a square that is 3 units long and 3 units wide. That is my base. And so every time I'm going to have you shade your base in of every shape that we do. Okay, this one right here. Okay, this is another rectangular prism. We're going to write our formula. Okay, volume equals big B times H every single time. Okay, now my big B is made up of the area of my base. So let's think about what my base is. We already knew this from elementary. This is really not a lot of new stuff. It's just it's explained a different way. It's a different formula. So my base is a rectangle. So my area of my base is length times width. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2. And then my height is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 times 2 is 12 times 5 is 60 units cubed. Okay? So if I were to fill in this entire little box, there would be 60 little cubes there. Okay? So when you see problems like this at the bottom, every single time, what I want to see you do is step 1, we name the shape every time, right? This is a rectangular prism. Okay, my formula is always volume equals big B times H. 3 is substitute. Now I'm going to shade in my base real fast here. Now I have a rectangle here, and my length and width of my rectangle, or my base and height, are 7 and 6. So even though in elementary we learned length times width times height, we're going to still write it big B times H. But my area of my base, it's a rectangle, so my base is 7 times 6, and then my height is 2. So 7 times 6 is 42, times 2 is 84 cubic centimeters. Okay, every single shape, I want you shading your base. Okay, I want steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 is solve, and don't forget your units. Okay, I want to see every step of your work. If all you write down is 4 times 3 times 2, I will count it wrong. Okay, I need to see all of your steps just like this. Okay, name your shape, give me the formula, substitute, and then solve with your answer right here. Okay, now your homework is going to be 99 and 100. I'm going to have you do both pages here, okay, because this one's easy. But we're doing this, if you want to be able to participate in the hands-on activities in class tomorrow, I need to make for sure both of these pages are done with all of your steps to your work, okay? I need to make for sure you understand this before we can move on, okay?